Thank you so much. Well, having moved from Nigeria to Canada 13 years ago, I can say firsthand that immigration and cross-cultural transitions take a serious toll on your mental health. The experience of culture shock, adapting to new norms, leaving behind familiar systems of support can be overwhelming. Little things like finding where to do your hair could be so stressful. For many Nigerians and Africans, the immigrant or settlement journey brings both opportunity and hardship. Navigating racism, language barriers, employment struggles, family separation, and identity shifts can lead to stress, anxiety, and isolation, often without adequate support or understanding. So this brings me to my question. How does the immigrant or settlement journey affect mental health for Nigerians and Africans in Canada? And are there unique stresses that service providers should understand? I mean, if I was going to go to therapy, I would go to a Black therapist. Because I feel like they understand my struggles, they understand my mannerisms, they understand what I'm saying, even my body language, right? It wouldn't be misconstrued. So I'm just going to pass the mic. Yeah.
I think that was a well-said question. And even in the context, you gave like all the answers. But to reiterate some of the things you said, I think a lot of that separation from what we know as normal can be very jarring, right? Like, I remember when we arrived, we landed in Quebec and we landed as refugees and we didn't have any connection to that community. Like you mentioned earlier, a healthy nervous system is two people. I like that, right? We need to be connected to someone else. We co-regulate with other people. We're hardwired for that. And I think coming here and getting that sense of being alone, you don't get that strength that arises in numbers. There's this benefit in knowing I'm not going through this on my own. Whether you have family to connect to, you have friends to connect to, you have events like this. Like just sitting here and seeing all these people that look like me, there's a lot of safety to that. There's a lot of ease to that. Being on a stage with people that look like me in a field like me, there's a lot of comfort to that as well too. So community is extremely important. I think when it comes to service providers, what they need to be aware of is a bit of humility and a bit of open-mindedness to be willing to learn about the people that are showing up in front of them, but also understanding if maybe they're from a different community, how their community might have impacted the well-being of the client that stands in front of them, even if not directly.
So true. So I'm also an immigrant that migrated to this country by myself 13 years ago. So you can imagine, the cultural shock, the social isolation, racism and microaggression in itself, right? Even though a lot of immigrants come here, very, intelligent and come here with high education, a lot of times they lose the identity because you come here and sometimes, your qualifications doesn't even match what people want here. And so you have to start from the get-go, and you losing your identity as a person in itself can cause, a lot of mental health struggles.